I stood in the doorway of my small house, the one thing in my life I felt I had truly earned, and I said to myself, this place is proof that I made it. I didn't grow up with much, and every dollar I saved came from long shifts, cheap meals, and nights where sleep felt like a luxury. I never thought someone like me would own a home, but here I was at 25, finally breathing in a life that felt steady. Ethan, you're talking to the walls again, Lily joked as she walked into the living room. She set her purse on the counter and smiled at me. You love this place, don't you? I do, I said. It's the first thing that made me feel like I wasn't just surviving. She laughed softly. And soon it'll be ours, not just yours. I stepped closer. It already feels like ours. That's why I added your name to the documents you asked about. I wanted you to know I trust you. She froze for half a second before giving a small nod. Right, yeah. It means a lot. Her voice sounded off, but I pushed the thought aside. I'd spent years believing trust was the one thing I could give freely to the people I loved. Noah showed up later that afternoon, knocking twice before letting himself in. Man, you still bragging about this house? He asked. Every time I come over, you act like you built it with your bare hands. I basically did, I said. You remember how long I worked for this? He laughed. Yeah, I do. And I'm proud of you, dude. Lily leaned against the doorway. You two sound like an old married couple. Noah smirked. If Ethan cooked better, maybe? I'm not cooking for you, I said. Not unless you start paying rent. We all laughed, and for a moment everything felt normal. Say, the kind of life I used to imagine when things were hard. Noah left after an hour, and Lily walked into the kitchen to grab water. I followed her, leaning against the counter. Hey, did we get something from the bank today? I asked. I saw an envelope with their logo. She stiffened, gripping the bottle a little too tight. All that? It's nothing. Just routine stuff. What kind of routine stuff? I asked. She looked away. You know, updates. They always send boring letters. I didn't see it on the table. I threw it out, she said quickly. It wasn't important. A strange silence filled the room. I felt something pinch inside my chest, like my instincts were whispering a warning I couldn't fully hear. Okay, I finally said. I was just curious. She forced a smile. You worry too much, Ethan? Maybe, I replied, though I didn't believe it. Not this time. I walked into the living room and sat on the couch, running my hand across the fabric. This house was everything to me. Every corner held a memory of how hard I fought to build a future. I wanted to believe Lily felt the same, that the nervous look she gave earlier meant nothing. She sat beside me and placed her hand on my arm. Hey, she said softly, don't look so serious. We're supposed to be excited about our future. I am, I said. But something feels off. She frowned. Off how? I don't know. Maybe I'm just tired. She leaned her head on my shoulder. Then rest. I'm here. You're not doing everything alone anymore. Her words should have comforted me. Instead, they sank uneasily into my chest. Yeah, I whispered. I know. But the truth was simple. Something in her voice felt wrong, and for the first time since buying this house, I didn't feel steady. I felt like the ground beneath me was starting to shift, and I didn't know why. Later that night, while Lily showered, I walked outside to breathe. The cold air helped clear my head. I called Noah, hoping to distract myself. You ever get the feeling something's wrong but you can't explain it? I asked. He sighed. With you? Always. What happened now? I asked Lily about a bank letter and she got weird. Weird how? Like she was hiding something. Did you check the trash? I paused. No, should I? I mean, if it bothers you that much, look. But maybe she's just stressed. Yeah, I muttered, though doubt pressed harder. Maybe. When I went back inside, Lily stepped out of the hallway, her hair wrapped in a towel. Who were you talking to? Noah, I said. Just catching up. She forced a laugh. You two talk more than we do. Is that a problem? Of course not, she replied, but her eyes flickered away. I got off work early and thought maybe I'll surprise Lily. I pictured her smile, the way she teased me for being cheesy. But when I unlocked the door, I heard voices in the living room, serious voices. Next week works for me, a man said. I froze. Next week? For what? I stepped inside. Lily? She jerked around, eyes wide. A man in a suit sat across from her, papers spread on the table. He looked up at me calmly. You must be Ethan. Who are you? I asked. I'm Mason, he said. Your real estate agent. My what? My voice cracked. Lily stood quickly. Ethan, wait, let me explain. Mason continued, we were just finalizing the sale date. The buyers are flexible, but if next week is too soon. Sale? I repeated. What sale? Lily reached for my arm. Please don't get upset. I was going to tell you tonight. Tell me what? I pulled away. What did you do? She took a breath. I sold the house. My chest tightened. My house. Our house, she corrected softly. No, I said. You know exactly what I mean. Mason looked awkward, closing his briefcase. I can give you both a moment. Don't go, I said sharply. I want to hear everything. Lily shook her head. Ethan, this isn't how I wanted you to find out. How should I have found out? By coming home to strangers moving my stuff out. That's not fair, she said. I did this for us. For us. I laughed bitterly. Explain how selling my home behind my back helps either of us. She wrung her hands. I needed startup money for the cafe. You know I've been planning it forever. And you sold my house to fund it? I asked. You always said you believed in me, she said. I thought you'd understand. I believed in us, not in being lied to. Mason cleared his throat. Legally, everything is in motion. She signed with full rights. If there's a problem, you'll need to contact the office. What rights? I snapped. Lily flinched. When you added my name to the papers, it gave me authority to handle certain decisions. Certain decisions? You mean selling the only thing I own without asking me? I didn't think you'd say yes, she whispered. So you didn't ask. She looked at the floor. The cafe is my dream, Ethan. You know that. Not worth destroying mine. She stepped closer. I didn't destroy anything. We can get another place. With what money? I asked. You sold the house. Where's the payment? She hesitated. I felt cold. Where's the money, Lily? I already used it, she said quietly. I put the deposit on the storefront and equipment. The rest is tied up in permits. You used all of it? I whispered. She nodded. Mason shifted uncomfortably. If this conversation is heading into conflict, I really should step outside. No, I said. Stay. I don't want anything happening behind my back again. Lily's eyes filled with frustration. Ethan, stop acting like I betrayed you. You did betray me. I did what I had to do, she said. I thought you'd respect my ambition. Ambition? I asked. You stole my future. I didn't steal anything, she shouted. You're overreacting. I stared at her, stunned. Overreacting? You took the only thing I've ever been proud of. It's just a house, she said. Those words hit me harder than anything else. Just a house. My house. The one I spent years bleeding for. The one that kept me warm when I had nothing else. I stepped back. Is the sale final? No, Mason said. But the deposit is taken and the contracts are signed. Canceling could cost penalties. I turned to Lily. Did you think 1 second about what this would do to me? I thought you loved me enough to understand, she whispered. I loved you enough to trust you with everything, I said. And you used that trust to sell my life out from under me. She reached for me again. Ethan, please? I stepped away. I can't look at you right now. Mason spoke carefully. Would you like me to leave the documents here? Take them, I said. I don't want to see anything. He nodded. Call me if you need clarification. He walked out the door. Lily turned back to me, tears forming. Ethan, I did this for us. No, I said quietly. You did this for you. She whispered, can't we talk about it? I can't talk about anything, I said. Not right now. I grabbed my keys and walked out before she could answer, my chest tight, my breath shallow, the world spinning as the truth finally hit me. I didn't know if I was walking away to breathe, or walking away because something inside me had already broken. When I came home the next morning, Lily sat at the table, staring at her phone. I took a breath and said, we need to talk. She didn't look up. I don't want to fight, Ethan. I'm not here to fight. I just want to understand why you hid everything from me. She sighed. Because you always panic when I make big decisions. I panic when those decisions destroy my life, I said. You sold the house without asking. I told you already, I did what I thought was right, she muttered. Right for who? Because it wasn't for me. She finally met my eyes. I don't want to go through this again. So you're shutting me out? I'm tired, she said. I need space. Space. I repeated. After what you did, you want space from me? Yes, she said. Everything feels heavy. I swallowed the frustration building in my chest. Lily, something else is going on. Tell me what it is. There's nothing else, she insisted. Just let me breathe. But the distance between us was growing by the minute. For days she barely spoke to me. She left early, came home late, avoided eye contact, and acted like my presence irritated her. I had no idea how to reach her. The house felt colder each night. No one noticed immediately. When he called, he asked, "You okay? You sound wrecked." She won't talk to me, I said. It's like she doesn't even care. What if she's hiding something else? He asked. What do you mean? He hesitated. I wasn't going to say anything until I was sure, but I saw her yesterday. Where? I asked. At Westbridge Cafe. That's where she wants her business. No, he said. She wasn't talking to the owner. She was with someone. A guy. My stomach dropped. Who? You're not going to like it. Tell me. It was Ryan, he said quietly. Ryan Cole. I gripped the phone tighter. Her ex. Yeah. Are you sure? 100%. My breath shook. Why would she meet him? I don't know, he said. But it didn't look casual. I hung up without saying anything else. When I walked into the house, Lily was sitting on the couch, pretending to watch TV. I stood in front of her. Where were you yesterday? What? She asked. Why? Answer me. I was out, she said. I needed air. With Ryan? Her face went pale. Who told you that? So you were with him, I said. Why? You're overreacting again. I stepped closer. Stop dodging. Why were you meeting your ex? She looked away. Because he understands my vision. Your vision? I repeated. I'm your fiancé. I supported you for years. You supported me in your own way, she said. But Ryan, he believes in my dream without questioning it. My pulse hammered in my ears. What dream, Lily? The cafe you sold my house to build. Yes, she whispered. And why exactly do you need him? She swallowed hard. Because he's helping me. How? I asked. Money? Support? What was he giving you that I wasn't? Her silence told me everything. I felt something break inside me. What else did you do? She stood slowly. Ethan, please don't make this harder. Harder? I said. You sold my house. You hid the money. You met your ex. Tell me the truth. She pressed her lips together. Fine. You want the truth? Ryan owns the house now. The room spun. What did you just say? I transferred the house to him, she said, voice trembling. Before the sale. You what? He agreed to help me open the cafe, she said. He said he'd give me everything I needed if I secured something valuable first. So you traded my house to him? I whispered. I didn't trade it. I transferred ownership. To your ex. Because he believes in me more than you ever did, she blurted. I stared at her, unable to breathe. I worked 2 jobs for that house. I saved for years. I starved some nights to put money away. And you just handed it to the one man you swore meant nothing. He pushed me to chase my dream, she said. You kept telling me to slow down. I told you to be careful, I said. Because I loved you. She covered her face. I didn't want it to end like this. It ended the moment you chose him over me, I said. I didn't choose him, she whispered. I chose myself. No, I said. You chose betrayal. I walked to the bedroom, grabbed a single duffel bag and filled it with the few things I couldn't leave behind. My hands shook, but I kept packing. Lily stood in the hallway. Ethan, don't go. We can fix this. No, I said. You broke something I can't fix. She reached for me, but I stepped back. Goodbye, Lily. When I closed the door behind me, the sound echoed through my chest. I walked away from the home I built, carrying only the weight of what she destroyed. Noah opened the door as soon as I knocked. You look like hell, he said. I feel worse, I replied. He stepped aside. Come in. You can stay in the spare room as long as you need. I dropped my duffel bag on the floor. Thanks. I don't know what else to do. He studied my face. You really left? I had to, I said. She gave my house to Ryan. I couldn't breathe in there anymore. He sat on the couch and motioned for me to join him. Tell me everything. I rubbed my forehead. I keep thinking I missed something. Maybe I ignored the signs. Maybe she was already gone long before I knew it. No, he said. She lied to you. That's not on you. I trusted her, I whispered. I trusted her with everything. And she abused it, he replied. That's on her. I leaned back, feeling the weight in my chest sink deeper. I can't stop replaying it. Every moment. Every conversation. Every time she said she loved me. Don't do that to yourself, he said. You'll drown in it. I already am. He sighed. Then let's start pulling you out. We need to see if there's anything we can do legally. You think a lawyer can fix this? I asked. Maybe not fix everything, he said, but at least figure out if she broke any laws. I hesitated. I don't want revenge. I just want my life back. Sometimes you need to fight to get it back, he said. The next afternoon, Noah drove me to meet a lawyer he knew. When we walked into the small office, a woman in a navy suit looked up from her desk. You must be Ethan, she said. I'm Ava Reed. Yes, I said. Thanks for seeing me. She gestured for us to sit. Noah gave me a quick summary, but I want to hear it from you. I took a breath. I added Lily's name to some documents because she said it would make us feel like a team. I didn't think she'd use that to sell my house. Then she transferred ownership to her ex before the sale even happened. Ava raised an eyebrow. Transferred ownership to her ex? Yes, I said. Without telling me. She said he believed in her dream. Noah muttered, more like he believed in stealing. Ava folded her hands. Ethan, let me be honest. Reversing a signed transfer is extremely difficult when you voluntarily gave her partial authority. So I'm screwed. I asked. Not entirely, she said. But it won't be easy. My stomach twisted. I signed because I trusted her. I didn't think she'd use it to destroy my life. Ava nodded. Trust can be dangerous when the wrong person holds it. So there's nothing I can do? I asked. I didn't say that. She pulled out the documents Noah helped me gather. The key is timing. Tell me exactly when she transferred the house to Ryan. A few days before she tried to finalize the sale, I said. I didn't know until after. Ava tapped the papers. That's interesting. How? I asked. Because ownership transfers tied to pending sales have very specific rules. If she transferred rights before the sale was finalized, and if she didn't disclose that properly, it could be considered fraudulent. I sat up straighter. Fraud? Yes, she said. It doesn't guarantee an easy win, but it gives us leverage. For the first time all week, something inside me sparked. So I'm not completely powerless. No, she said. But we need more details. Messages, documents, anything showing intent. Noah nudged me. We'll get it. I'll help you. I looked at him. Why are you doing all this? Because you do the same for me, he said. And because she doesn't get to destroy you without a fight. Ava leaned forward. Ethan, I need you to understand something. This will be emotionally exhausting. You'll have to relive a lot of what happened. I've been reliving it every minute, I said. If doing it with a purpose gets my life back, I'll do it. Good, she said. Then we start building the case. As we left the office, Noah asked, How do you feel? I exhaled slowly. Like the fog is clearing. You ready to fight? Yes, I said. For the first time since this started. Pain had swallowed me whole, but anger was giving me something new. Direction. I tightened my grip on the folder Ava gave me and whispered, I won't be their victim. Not anymore. The morning after meeting with Ava, Noah walked into the kitchen and said, You're up early again. I have to be, I said. I picked up a second job. He blinked. Already? When did you apply? Last night, I said. A warehouse night shift. They hired me on the spot. That fast. I told them I'd work any hours they needed, I said. I'm done waiting for life to fix itself. He studied me. You okay? No, I said. But I'm moving. He nodded. Then I'm with you. That night, I clocked into the warehouse, lifted boxes until my arms burned, and reminded myself with every breath why I was doing it. I whispered, I'm rebuilding, each time exhaustion threatened to swallow me. The next afternoon, I sat in Ava's office again. She looked impressed. You documented everything already? I wrote down every date, every message, every conversation I remember, I said. Anything else you need? Emails, she said. Screenshots. Proof of her communication with Ryan. I'll get it. Ava leaned back. You're working hard, Ethan. I have to, I said. It's the only thing keeping me steady. She nodded. Then keep going. You're doing well. Later that evening, Noah handed me his phone. Look at this. What is it? I asked. A post from Lily's cousin, he said. She mentioned Lily's cafe is already running into problems. I handed the phone back. I don't want details. You sure? Yes, I said. Her choices aren't my responsibility anymore. But doesn't it feel good to know things aren't perfect for her? It doesn't feel like anything, I said. I'm too tired to care. He shrugged. Fair enough. A few days later, while I packed my lunch, Noah said, I ran into Mark at the store. Lily's co-worker? Yeah. He said her suppliers backed out. I didn't even look up. Okay. He said she looked stressed. Like really stressed. She made her decisions, I said. She can deal with the consequences. Noah crossed his arms. You don't even want to know why it's happening? No, I said. Every second I think about her is a second I'm not fixing my own life. He smiled a little. You're changing, man. I have to, I said. The old me let her walk all over me. I'm not doing that again. During my next meeting with Ava, she spread the new documents across the desk. This is good, she said. Very good. You're building a strong case. How long do you think this will take? I asked. Hard to say, she replied. But you're preparing yourself well. I looked at the papers. Do you think I'm being too harsh? No, she said. You're fighting for what's yours. I nodded slowly. Then let's keep going. On my lunch break one day, Noah sat with me in the car. I heard something else, he said. I don't want drama. This one's different, he said. Apparently Ryan stopped helping her. That made me pause. Stopped. Yeah, he said. He told people she was too much work. I let out a breath. Figures. You don't feel anything? He asked. I shook my head. I've got nothing left for her. Not anger, not sympathy. Nothing. That's new, he said softly. It feels better than drowning, I replied. The next week Ava said, your demeanor has changed. In a bad way? I asked. In a grounded way, she said. Like you found your footing. There's no other choice, I said. If I fall apart, they win. She nodded approvingly. Keep that focus. After the meeting, Noah asked, do you ever miss her? I answered honestly. I miss who I thought she was. But that person never existed. He sighed. That's rough. It's reality, I said. And it's helping me move. The more I worked, the more I rebuilt myself. The night shifts hurt my back, but they strengthened my resolve. The meetings with Ava drained my emotions, but they sharpened me. The silence in Noah's spare room gave me the space to breathe without begging someone to care. One night, as I set my alarm, Noah knocked on the door. You're becoming someone new, he said. I'm becoming someone I should have been, I replied. And who's that? Someone who doesn't let people steal pieces of him just because he loves them. He smiled. Good. About time. I lay down, staring at the ceiling, and whispered to myself, I'm building a version of me no one can break again. And for the first time in a long time, I believed it. Ava called me early in the morning. Ethan, I need you in my office today. My stomach tightened. Is something wrong? Not wrong, she said. Important. When I walked in, she didn't even sit down before speaking. I found something. What is it? She held up a printed document. One of the transfer forms has your digital signature. But it's not actually yours. I blinked. What do you mean? It's forged, she said. I compared it with your verified signature from the mortgage documents. They don't match. My breath caught. She forged my signature? Yes, Ava said. And that changes everything. I leaned on the desk. How much does it change? A lot. Fraud voids authority. This gives us a clear path to challenge the transfer. A slow heat filled my chest. So she finally crossed the line the law cares about. Ava nodded. We'll move on it immediately. I sat down, shaking with something between relief and fury. I trusted her so much I didn't think she'd ever do something like this. She did, Ava said. But this time she left evidence. Noah arrived a few minutes later. Ava had apparently called him too. So it's true? He asked. I nodded. She forged my signature. Wow, he muttered. And I thought she couldn't get worse. Ava cleared her throat. Focus now is to gather anything else that looks suspicious. Every detail counts. I'll bring everything tonight, I said. Noah glanced at me. You okay? No, I replied. But I'm ready. Later that day during my break, Noah said, by the way, I heard something else. I folded my arms. What now? Lily's cafe is falling apart, he said. Suppliers canceled. Permits got denied. Deadlines aren't being met. I stared ahead. She rushed everything. That's what happens. He hesitated. People said she looked stressed. Like she hasn't slept. I shrugged. She made her choices. You don't feel anything? Not really, I said. I stopped bleeding over her problems the day she gave my house away. When I left work that night, I checked my phone. One unread message from Lily. Lily, we need to talk. Please. I didn't open it. I didn't reply. I deleted it. When I got home, Noah raised an eyebrow. She texted you, didn't she? Yeah. And? I erased it. He nodded. Good. You don't owe her anything. I know, I said. And for once, I feel like I finally believe that. The next morning, Ava called again. I spoke to a specialist about the forgery, she said. They confirmed everything. We have a strong case now. That fast? Yes, she said. I wanted to act before she tries anything else. I exhaled slowly. Thank you. Don't thank me yet, she said. We still have a lot to do. But momentum is on your side. Momentum. That word stayed with me. Later, Noah knocked on my door. You hear the newest update? I don't really care, but go ahead. Ryan's ghosting her, he said. Completely. She's calling him nonstop. He's ignoring everything. I raised an eyebrow. She really thought he'd stick around? He bailed the second things got rough, Noah said. She's paying every bill alone. Good, I said quietly. Now she knows how it feels. Noah sat next to me. Does it help? Seeing her struggle? It doesn't heal anything, I said. But it reminds me the universe has balance. He nodded. Karma's clock never stops. My phone buzzed again. Another message from Lily. Lily, Ethan, please. Just one conversation. I deleted it without opening it. Noah watched. You're done with her. I was done when she forged my signature, I said. Everything after that is just the truth revealing itself. He leaned back. You sound stronger. I feel stronger, I said. For the first time since this nightmare started. That night, Ava sent one more update, a photo of her notes with one sentence highlighted. Fraud nullifies authority. I stared at it for a long time. Their empire, built on lies, manipulation, and desperation, was crumbling. And none of it required me lifting a single finger in revenge. All I did was stand back up. All they did was fall apart. I whispered to myself, let it crack. Let everything they built break. I'm not the one sinking anymore. For the first time, the weight on my chest loosened. Finally, the balance was shifting. The morning of the hearing, Noah looked at me and said, You ready? No, I said. But I'm here. When we walked into the courtroom, I saw Lily sitting alone at the table across the room. Her shoulders were hunched, her eyes red, her confidence gone. She didn't look at me. Ava leaned close. Remember, stay calm. Let the evidence speak. I will, I said, though my heart pounded so hard I felt it in my throat. The judge entered and everyone stood. When we sat again, the air felt heavy. Ava rose first. Your Honor, we are here today to address an unlawful property transfer facilitated through fraudulent authorization. She held up the forged document. This digital signature does not belong to my client. The judge nodded. Proceed. Ava continued. My client granted limited rights to his fiancée under the belief she would act in good faith. Instead, she transferred ownership to a third party without disclosure and forged his signature to finalize it. The judge turned to Lily. Ms. Adams, is this accurate? Lily stood shakily. Your Honor, I didn't mean to hurt anyone. I needed support for my business and Ethan wouldn't understand. I thought. I whispered under my breath. Here we go. Ava said, intent does not excuse fraud. She transferred the house before the sale, concealed the ownership change, and misused the authority she was given. Lily shook her head. I didn't misuse anything. Ethan said he trusted me. I trusted you with my name, I said loudly, unable to stay silent. Not with my life. The judge raised a hand. You will have a turn to speak, Mr. Ward. I nodded and forced myself back into my chair. Ava handed the judge 2 documents. Here is Ethan's verified signature. And here is the one used on the transfer form. They do not match. Additionally, the timeline shows she transferred ownership before informing my client of any decisions. The judge flipped through the pages. I see. Lily's voice cracked. Please? I didn't know what else to do. The cafe was falling apart. Ryan said. Ava cut in. Ryan is not present today. The courtroom murmured. The judge asked, Where is Mr. Cole? Lily swallowed. He said he'd come. I don't know where he is. Noah muttered beside me. Coward ran. I breathed slowly, trying to steady myself. The judge turned to me. Mr. Ward, would you like to speak? I stood. Yes, Your Honor. I worked years for that house. I trusted Lily so much that I added her name to documents she said were for us. She used that trust to take everything from me. She didn't talk to me. She didn't ask. She didn't warn me. She just took it. And she gave it to someone she used to be with. A lump rose in my throat, but I kept going. I'm not here for revenge. I'm here because the life I built was taken from me through lies. The judge nodded for me to sit. Lily stepped forward, tears running down her face. I loved him. I swear I did. I never meant to hurt him. I just thought he'd hold me back. Ava whispered, There it is. The judge closed the folder. I have heard enough. The room fell silent. Ms. Adams, the judge said, forging a signature to authorize a property transfer is a serious offense. Your actions show clear misconduct and breach of trust. Lily's knees buckled and she gripped the table. Effective immediately, ownership of the property is restored to Mr. Ward, the judge declared. Additionally, Ms. Adams will compensate him for damages resulting from the unauthorized transfer. I exhaled slowly, feeling the weight inside me shift but not disappear. The judge continued, Court is adjourned. When the gavel fell, Lily covered her face and sobbed. Noah whispered, You won. But it didn't feel like winning. It felt like burying a version of myself I once loved. As I walked toward the exit, I heard her voice behind me. Ethan, please. Wait. I turned reluctantly. What? She stepped closer, trembling. I'm sorry. I swear I didn't know it would go this far. Can we just talk? Please, just a minute. I shook my head slowly. There's nothing left to talk about. Please, she whispered. I miss you. I miss us. I met her eyes. You didn't just steal my house, Lily. You stole the last part of me that trusted you. She gasped as if the words hit her physically. I stepped back. Goodbye, Lily. Then I walked out of the courthouse, feeling the final break settle into place. Not sharp, not loud, just a quiet ending to everything I once believed in. When I stepped into my house again months later, I stopped in the doorway and just breathed. The place was empty. No furniture, no decorations, nothing but sunlight across the floorboards. But it was mine again. Truly mine. Noah walked in behind me and said, Feels different now, doesn't it? It does, I said. It feels lighter. He looked around at the freshly painted walls. You did a good job, man. I needed to, I said. I couldn't leave it looking the way it looked when I ran out. He raised an eyebrow. You sure you don't want help moving in? I'm sure. I want to do this part alone. He nodded. Then I'll head out. Call me if you need anything. I will, I said, though we both knew I wanted silence today more than anything else. When he left, I ran my hand along the smooth wall. New paint. New floors. Everything stripped down and rebuilt. Just like me. My phone buzzed. A message from someone I barely talked to, Lily's cousin. Her cafe closed. She lost everything. Ryan left town. I put the phone face down on the counter. A few minutes later, Noah called. I heard about the cafe. You okay? Yeah, I said. It doesn't change anything for me. You don't feel anything? Not even a little satisfaction? No, I said. Not anymore. You're a better man than me. No, I said quietly. I'm just tired of bleeding over people who wouldn't bleed for me. He was silent for a moment. Well, I'm proud of you. I know this wasn't easy. It still isn't, I said. But I'm getting there. After we hung up, I walked room to room. Every step echoed. The place felt bigger than before, like the walls expanded after all the poison was scraped out. I sat on the floor, leaned against the wall, and whispered, I'm home. The next day, Ava called to check in. Congratulations again, she said. How does it feel to close the book? Quiet, I said. In a good way. That's usually what healing sounds like. Thank you, I said. For everything. I only did my job, she said. You're the one who rebuilt. After I hung up, I spent the afternoon assembling furniture I bought secondhand. Every screw, every bolt, every piece reminded me I wasn't rebuilding a house. I was rebuilding myself. While I worked, Noah stopped by with coffee. Looks like a real place again, he said. Feels like a fresh start, I said. He hesitated. Lily asked about you. She wanted to know if you'd consider talking to her. What did you tell her? That she lost that right. I nodded. Good. You sure you never want closure from her? he asked. I already have closure, I said. It came from the truth, not from her. He smirked. You sound like some wise monk now. I'm tired of carrying what doesn't belong to me, I said. Her choices are her weight. Then what's next for you? A life that's actually mine, I said. One I don't have to share with people who take instead of give. When he left, I stood in the living room again. The sunlight hit the wall just right, warming the room. I remembered the night I first moved in years ago, the excitement, the pride, the hope. Then I remembered the night I walked out, the panic, the heartbreak, the betrayal. And now here I was, standing in the same place but not the same person. My phone buzzed again. A number I didn't recognize. A voicemail. I pressed play. Ethan, it's me. Lily's voice cracked. I heard you got the house back. I'm glad. I really am. I wish things had gone differently. I wish I had been different. I'm sorry. I deleted the voicemail. No anger. No sadness. Just acceptance. I whispered, goodbye, Lily, even though she couldn't hear me. That night, I ate dinner on the floor, staring at the blank walls. I didn't feel lonely. I felt free. A house can be stolen. Trust can be broken. Love can turn into ashes. But a person, someone who has crawled through the dark and built himself back up, can rise again. And this time, I wasn't rising for anyone else. I was rising for me. I leaned back, closed my eyes, and said the words that ended the story I'd been trapped in for too long. A house can be stolen. But a man who rises from the ashes? He can't be broken again.